What is up, you guys? It is me, RC 2001 Studios here, or Robert Korea, and today I am coming at you guys with another video. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Bandai 8-inch Monster X. This figure actually isn't really 8 inches, I would say, because I even checked on the ruler, and when you measure it, counting this horn, it says it's 9 inches, but whatever. 8 inches, 9 inches, they're like the same thing. So you might be wondering what happened to the episode of the Gigan and Destroyer show that I released yesterday, that episode. First off, I deleted it because I thought it wasn't that good anyways. Number two, it didn't really, a lot of people didn't even like it. A lot of people, they disliked it and stuff, and I could see why. I didn't even put a lot of effort in it. And number three, I didn't want to get copyright from Universal, so I deleted it, might as well. And if you're wondering, my mom did buy a Straight Outta Compton bootleg, if you're wondering. It's actually, the quality isn't that bad, it's just sometimes there's I would, subtitles, but it hardly happens in the copy. But yeah, it's a great movie, by the way. So, anyways, so I got this figure at the San Jose Super Toy Show for $120, which is actually not a good deal. A lot of people have gotten this figure for $70, $80. To me, if you're gonna get this figure, get it for 80 through $70 or 90, whatever. But no, not 100. If you're gonna get this figure, if you're gonna get a figure that's $100, get Kaiser Ghidorah, in my opinion. But yeah, it's not the best deal, but hey, it didn't even come out of my pocket. My mom bought this figure for me as a birthday present, so I didn't really complain. But there is some things that are bad on mine. For example, as you could see, there's that little purple thingy right there on one of the heads. Not only that, look at the tail, it's dented. But overall, it's in pretty good, when it comes to, it's in pretty good condition. It's just, that little purple marking and that little dent on the tail. But yeah, so history, Monster X only made one appearance, and that appearance was in Godzilla Final Wars. So enough of me talking, now let's get on to the figure review. So now we're going to be talking about articulation. Okay, so now we're going to get on to articulation on this figure. So this figure is pretty articulated. So I'm just going to show you guys. So first off, the head is 360 rotatable. So you could have his, head upside down like that. But yeah, that does rotate 360, and I myself wasn't that surprised because I've seen reviews on this figure for quite a long time. The side heads, they do kind of rotate like that. This one rotates more like that, it just rotates. This one rotates more. The waist also is 360 rotatable, so it's pretty cool. But the arms rotate in and out like that. They can't move out that much because there's those little spikes on the back, or whatever, cracks thingies on the back that really block it from moving. This one as well rotates in and out that much. This one rotates more out than in, I would say. I don't know. These ankles, they are 360 rotatable, as you could see. Yeah, they're kind of stiff though. I'm not gonna do it on the other one, but you get the idea. And the feet do rotate a little bit, as you can see. They just, they just swivel. And the tail actually rotates 360 like that, and there's this one segment which rotates 360 too. So yeah, this part rotates 360 and this part rotates 360. So overall he has I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 points, or 11, whatever. So yeah, articulation's pretty good on this figure. Now we're going to be talking about paint job. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about paint job. So I'm just going to be picking up the camera so you guys could see yourself. So a lot on this figure is mostly white and black, as you could see. It's pretty obvious that it's just white and black, but there is some shading. For example, on that side head, there's some shading of black right there, or gray, whatever you want to call it. And now, as you guys may have saw, that purple marker was not done by me, it was done by the previous owner. There's some gray right there on this little, I would say, I don't know, shoulder part. But yeah, this figure mostly consists of white and black, as you could see. The eyes are nicely painted though, I will say. Look at that, look at the eyes. They are just nicely painted, even on the side heads. Boom. So yeah, there is some shading on this figure, not a lot though. On the back, again, just this kind of like, I would say, you know, whitish with black color. This spike is kind of like grayish, and these ones too. But yeah, paint job is actually pretty standard. There is some shading, as you can see, on the top of the head, some shading on the side heads and stuff like that, and some on the body. So I would say that the paint job on this figure is just mostly black and white, but there is some nice shading of gray. So you have your like 3 main colors on this figure, which I would say, you know, white, black, and some shading of gray. So that's pretty much all the paint job on this figure. Now we're going to be talking about sculpt and detail. Okay, so sculpt and detail. So the sculpt and detail on this figure, again, I'm going to pick up my camera so you could see it better, because it's a pretty big figure, and I'll show you guys later how big he is. The sculpt and detail is actually really good on this figure. This figure does look like Monster X, and this is probably the only Monster X figure that's out there on the market besides the Gigabrain one and the 4-inch Bandai one. You know, the one that Ezilla Monster was all bragging about. That little 4-inch one. Yeah, there's that one too. But the sculpt on this guy really is good. It does look like Monster X. You know, those little hand thingies are nicely sculpted. Just look at that. These little side spikes are nicely sculpted. There's a lot of nice sculpting done on this figure, as you could see right there and stuff. The side heads are nicely sculpted, actually. The head is actually nicely sculpted. It's probably like the best part. Right here, it's kind of like hard vinyl, I would say, the teeth. But right here, it's like soft vinyl. It's kind of squishy, as you could see. This top part is really nicely sculpted. Just look at all that, you know, it's really nicely sculpted. This back spike is really nicely sculpted. I mean, just look at that. It really does look nicely sculpted. Just look at all that, you know. They put little cracks and stuff. So yeah, this back spike is really nicely sculpted, and it is actually kind of hard. Not that hard, but, you know, you could, I bet you if you smack someone with this, it would injure them. And these nice little tail spikes are nicely sculpted. So there is a lot of nice sculpting done on this figure. And yeah, so now we're going to be talking about detail. So detail on the head is actually really good. As you can see, this figure has a bunch of lines and stuff on the chest and stuff. Under his, what's it called? Yeah, throat, there's a bunch of lines. There's a bunch of lines and stuff on the, like, legs, as you can see. Those lines. The hands, I would say there's some nice detail on the hands. There's these kind of like bumps or whatever. Not really. But yeah. The feet, you know. On the back is where I would say is where there's the most detail. So as you can see, look at that. On the front of this figure, there's just a bunch of lines, as you can see. Look at that. You know, a bunch of lines, which is mostly on the front of the figure, but on the back, there's a bunch of detail. As you can see, those nice little bumps and stuff, look at that. There's a bunch of those bumps right there, even on the tail. You could see those bumps, but then it just becomes this smooth surface. But yeah, there's a bunch of bumps right there. So on the back of this figure, there's a bunch of bumps and stuff. Bunch of bumps and ridges. But on the front of the figure, when it comes to like skin detail, it's just a bunch of lines. So yeah, I would say sculpt is really nice, but the detail is decent. So now I'm going to show you guys how big this figure is and stuff like that. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about sizing. So sizing, well, if you want accurate sizing, I would say get the 8-inch Final Wars Godzilla so he could, you know, fight Monster X, because they're about like the same size, I believe. But I'm just talking about how big the figure is. So here he is next to the Bandai Creations GMK Godzilla. This figure is about to like his chest, so he could just like bite him in the chest or whatever. So yeah, pretty nice figure. I reviewed him already. And here he is next to a figure that almost everyone has, and definitely really does give you an idea on how big this figure is. So next up we have the Bandai Creations 12-inch Final Wars Godzilla. I would say more like it's like 10 inches, but whatever. Here he is next to him. As you could see, this is actually like Monster X is about almost as tall as him. If you only count this spike, he is about to right there to his nose, as you could see. But yeah, but if you didn't count this spike right here, it would be like to his like lower jaw. But if you did count the spike, he'd almost be as tall as this, as his nose or something. So yeah, that's pretty much sizing and scaling. Just wanted to give you an idea on how big this figure is. And yeah, now I'm going to give my final thoughts. So, my final thoughts. So, again, I would pay only $70 through $80 because, I got this guy for $120. Well, actually, I didn't even buy this figure. My mom did. This was like a birthday present, so I'm not going to really complain that much about the price. But, yeah, don't do the same thing as I did. So, definitely don't get this figure over $100. He's a great figure, as a lot of people have said. Monster X is my favorite Godzilla enemy. But, I would say the only reason why he's a good figure is because the sculpt is nice and because he's just a big figure. And the articulation is actually really good. But, yeah, this figure should, in my opinion, it should cost at least, 50 to $60. Because, the 8-inch Final Wars Godzilla usually costs about from there or lower. But yeah, he's kind of like the same thing as the 8-inch Final Wars Godzilla. Again, they're both great figures, but the only thing that's different from the 6-inch figures is that they're 8-inch figures. They're just bigger. So yeah, there really isn't that much too spectacular about him, only that he's big, but overall he's still a nice figure. Either way, and if you do like Monster X, the kaiju itself, definitely recommend you guys to buy this figure. But again, I'm gonna repeat myself. I would pay $70 to $80 for this figure. He's a great figure, but I would say the only thing that sets him apart from other figures is that he's just a bigger figure. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and please help me. For the love, for whatever, just help me reach to 100 subscribers. Seriously, I am at 96, and just seeing that is so freaking annoying. Just seeing that, just stay there at 96. I wanted to go up, you guys, by 4 subscribers, please. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.